I discovered Brie and her coaching through some friends on the internet. As part of the digital marketing world, I had spent a ton of money, a ton of time on getting my business to a certain level, and then I was stuck. I thought perhaps it was I had issues around my money, or perhaps it was issues around imposter syndrome. I knew it was something, but I wasn't sure what it was. But I knew that I did have a really strong fear around money and how that related to my life. If I was going to end up spending my life spinning my wheels and never getting the kind of success that I wanted and not making the income that I wanted to make as a single mom. Career-wise, I felt really good, but money-wise, I was in a dark place. And I was just looking for someone who could give me some kind of navigation moving forward to get me out of this fear and anxiety. Brie is the type that she is very direct and was asking me questions that were making me look inward and say, I don't know. I don't have answers to those questions. I don't have answers to why I have this fear and anxiety around money and what was going on with my life. So once she started asking me those hard questions, I knew that I needed someone to help me get the answers, and I just jumped in to working with her. My money and literally my income became the smallest issue that I had. And so the biggest thing that happened for me during this time was completely working around my mindset. My parents came from a poverty mentality and the generational things that happen with that. And even though I had a good job, I make good money, those nights of laying awake with anxiety of, oh gosh, what happens tomorrow? Not having a confidence in my ability to say, well, if something terrible happens tomorrow, it's fine. I'll pick up, I'll be fine. I'm not going to worry about it. I've got systems in place. I've got the mindset to change it. I literally had none of that when I went into this coaching with Brie. And what I came out of it with systems in place, knowing that, hey, in this amount of time, the debt I had run up over several years because I didn't have a good viewpoint of money, that now I have an idea of looking at that. And I could say, okay, in less than 3 years, all of my credit card debt will be gone. And looking at it and saying, okay, if something horrible happens next week, it doesn't matter. I've got money in my savings and I can live. If, again, all of those things that we have, the what ifs, what if I lose my job? What if this happens? What if that happens? Now I can go to sleep without worrying about that, because it's like, okay, I have a plan in place set on itself. I have very little input about what's going on there, except making sure that I have the money in the right accounts starting out my month. And then after that, it's really just been a whole time of reflecting and looking at my mental mindset around money and around career, all of those things, because I find out they are connected. And working with Brie really illuminated that for me, is that it's not imposter syndrome. It's the lies we tell ourselves, and getting out of that and saying, I'm not living like that anymore. Brie's direct and loving. And so she can say, look, that's not what's going on with you. This is what's going on with you. And me going, I think you're right. Not allowing me to lie to myself anymore about these issues, and saying, okay, it's not okay that you're laying awake at night at 3 a.m. wondering if you're going to be able to feed your child this week, especially whenever I have, the income and the job to do it. There's no reason for that. So I would have to say that my biggest takeaway and the greatest thing I took from there was not even about money. It was about learning to like myself. It was learning to trust in myself, trust in the fact that, I was going to be okay. Financially, we're going to be okay. And I know for a lot of people, especially if you're a single parent like me, is, you're it. You're the only one that's bringing in an income. And if you don't have things together, you can't even enjoy your life. There were times I couldn't even enjoy my life with my child because I was so worried about something I didn't even need to be worrying about. And that is what I took away. That's the biggest takeaway. So I can't say, that I saved $500,000, but I can tell you it saved my sanity. And I will be forever grateful for that, because, no matter how much money you make, if you're miserable, it doesn't matter. If you are somebody who is in the entrepreneurial world and you've got your business to a certain point, but you're feeling kind of stuck and you don't know what the next step is, you're like, well, I see all these people and they're they're making $10,000 months or $50,000 months, and I can't get past that. I know for myself, it's pretty much that limit and that ceiling you've put on yourself, and you just cannot get past it. You're just sitting there going, it comes down to, am I worth $50,000 a month or $50,000 a year? And for the most part, a lot of us can't say yes. We can't, because we're just so indoctrinated not to say yes. We're indoctrinated of staying in jobs or doing things that's safe or all of those things. And I see a lot of people, because I'm in so many groups, who they're asking those questions. They're doing like I used to do, which is ask a little bit of it, but not really reveal a lot of stuff, because you're so ashamed that you're actually having these feelings when these people are doing great. And in reality, there were some people who thought I was doing great, and they didn't know that I was struggling with money issues. And I mean, not money like my finances, more money mindset and the junk around that. And every time I'm around people now, and I'm in so many groups, and they start talking about, I feel like I've got this limit on myself. I feel like I got this limit on my business. And I'm like the first one that says, hey, if you want to go to the next level, if you want to figure out this whole thing that's going on in your brain and in your emotions, you've got this thing in your head, this critical voice that's saying to you, this is it. This is the best you can do. And then you get to work with Brie, and she goes, that's a lie. And you're not listening to that anymore. And sometimes we need that. We need somebody who we know actually cares about us and who wants us to succeed. And that's the way that she is. And so she starts calling out the junk that we want to say, well, I don't know if I can do that, or I'm not ready to do that. And there's some of those things I wasn't ready to do. But as time went on, what was so interesting is she was like, okay, when you get ready, you'll do it. And you know what? I did. So that's the whole point of it, is that if you've got somebody who's cheerleading you on and saying, look, your biggest obstacle to getting to the next level in your business is your brain and what you think and the lies you're telling yourself, because your truth just simply isn't true. If your junk is around that same kind of stuff, then you need to talk to Brie, because she's gonna bring the hammer. I'm just kidding. She's going to bring it to you and say what you're believing and the beliefs you have in yourself are not true. They're just simply not. None of us can walk around being that horrible. We're just people trying to do the right thing, especially women. We're out here, we're working hard, we're trying to do our best. And last time I checked, most of us are just good people, just trying to do the best we can in the world, trying to affect people in a good, positive way. And we don't need the junk and stinking thinking in our brain to stop us from getting to that next place. So if that's what you need and you're ready to do the work and get to the next place, you need to sign up and work with Brie like I did.